There is a cleanup that needs to happen, and it will happen at the pace of 1 hour a day. I don't want to do the clean, I don't want to do the tidy. It has to happen though, because I'm running the risk of getting injured. Currently, there's not enough space to walk between the aisles, and I am doing this weird pivot, and that's causing my knees to actually feel a bit of strain. And that strain built up over multiple reps. It caused my outer thigh to go tight, and then it feeds, and then it transfers to my hip flexors and then to my glutes. And long story short, by about 6 months, I start to look a bit crooked, and then it all kind of falls apart when I lift up, a heavy box, because the load just breaks me. I've noticed this pattern in the last 2 years, because 2 years is my full time doing this, I guess. Up until that point, it's full time, but not really at capacity, meaning that I would have space to move, I would have empty space to fill. But probably the last 2 years has been where I'm at capacity storage wise, and I've had to shuffle, juggle, change the layout over and over again to kind of keep growing. I'm learning about myself. I'm learning that if I tell myself to do a working bee sort of deal where I set aside 2 days to just go ham, it won't happen. It's too overwhelming. It's not how I roll. I thought that I could do it because I'm used to working late nights, sitting down listing for hours, sorting through stock for hours. I thought that the hyper focus kind of applies to that, but my head kind of plays tricks on me, and it's on days when I'm tired, it's too hard to push through. So we're going back to cutting it down to small chunks, an hour a day, so that it's not overwhelming mentally and it gets done. Which means every day before I do anything, after I drop the kids off at school or care or whatever that needs to be done, the first thing I do every day, an hour of cleanup. And that hour is not going to take away from my day. I have no excuse for it. It's not going to prevent me from packing orders, because there will still be time after that to pack orders. It's not going to get in the way of me taking photos and sorting stock, because there will still be time for that on days when there's no packing to do. 1 hour a day, very doable, no excuse. If I say this are not negotiable, I can keep my word to myself to do that. In fact, an hour a day, even if I'm not feeling well, even if I'm sick, I can still do it and then go back to bed. So I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna commit to any particular visual change, because that in itself is setting myself up to fail. I don't want to do that. I want to give myself the best chance of success. An hour a day, first thing in the day, doesn't actually throw the rest of the task out of balance. For example, if I said I'm gonna clean up for 4 hours before I do anything else, on days when I've got parcels to pack that are a bit more than normal, I can justify not cleaning because the packing is more urgent. Hour a day approach means that even if I have parcels to pack, it's not going to eat into that, It's not going to mess with that's more urgent, do that first, not the clean. Jen's already expressed that this cleanup needs to happen, otherwise you're going to hurt yourself, and if you hurt yourself, you can't run this business. Very, very reasonable request. Time flies, by the way. I did the numbers yesterday and we've sold $950,000 worth of stuff. And only because in reselling world, people like to talk about revenue. This is not revenue, this is product sales. So the item price, $950,000 worth of it since we started in January 2019. Blows my mind. May not seem like a lot for people who, run businesses that sell big things, but for toys that don't cost very much and don't sell for very much, it's a nice indication of volume, and I quite like that. And it's weird because when I shared it within the Discord, the first response was like, that's a lot of stuff to have to keep sourcing and selling. And the best part about it is we can, and so many of us do that. We actually source so much and sell so much. We don't give ourselves enough credit that we can keep finding stock to sell. Because if you do a SWOT analysis, which is your business plan, like your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, one of the weaknesses of the reselling business is that your supply is not guaranteed. And there's this constant fear that if I don't buy up stock, I'm not going to have enough stock to sell. Very reasonable concern. Until you go back and realize, wait, I've still got so much stock, I'm not going to sell through because I've slowed down my sourcing. I used to buy like almost 10 grand a month of stock a month, and I've slowed down to about 2 or 3 now because I don't need it. I've realized that I'm not actually selling through enough, and I don't actually have to keep buying for the future because the stock will be there. Probably not the exact stock I want, but there will be stock there and there will be money to be made there. So in that sense, that I don't want to call it insecurity because it's not really an insecurity. Worry, maybe concern. Let's call it a concern. That concern is becoming less and less with time, and it comes with appreciating that the stock's there, we're selling the stock, and we're probably going to keep doing it for the foreseeable future. Now, when I look at the graph going up and up and up and up, when I shared this with the members in the Discord, they were like, whoa, that the thought of having to source this level of stock consistently over years is insane. Like, it's just, I feel like that's with any business. As you grow, you recognize that skill is real and it exists and it's reliable and it's dependable. It's like if you have one hot dog stand, if someone said to you, imagine having 100 hot dog stands, you'd be like, yeah, I'm having trouble imagining 10. It's the same thing. It's just a growth mindset. It's got nothing to do with whether that stock exists or not. Every business that started out small, that eventually got big, had to go through that evolution of recognizing that there's more, that the market has room to grow. And if the market doesn't have room to grow, is it because it's a niche segment of a bigger market that they can then grow into? Just adding more subsections of toys because the category is toys. The big market is toys, but which toys do you focus on to create niche stores for those specific buyer for that toy? And that's the approach, right? If you notice a bit of a slowdown, add another subcategory, add another subcategory. The patterns are the same, really. Toys are toys. It's very rare that you find it's like toys, right? Kids need them. Kids want them because they want to relate to them. They want to play with them. Collectors want them because it reminds them of a time that they used to have with them. And then everything else, and then the random purchase for children or collectors. There's really not much more to it. That applies to it. You take that same logic, apply it to another, and I think that pattern is in every category. I know some people like to say that, oh no, but my category is unique. No, it's not. It's not. You meet needs and wants, and for the most part, those things are transferable across the subcategories within the bigger category that you're in. All this to say, supply is not reliable. That's fine. Once you sell enough over a few years, you look back, you go, wait, I actually can do this. That feeling of concern goes down. And then from that point on, it's just a business. This is your business. That's the rhythm of your business. And the other thing that I really enjoyed was looking at the ups and downs of our sales graph as well, and recognizing that the pattern of sales is actually pretty consistent year on year. The only difference is where the mountain sits. So for example, if you've got 3 peaks here at about the 10 grand mark, put in more effort, 20K. But the peaks and the peaks and troughs are the same. So there's a pattern of seasonality because it's not a need, it's a want. Even for needs, there's seasonality, right? And level of effort, capacity to process correlates to how high the mountain goes, up or down. That reduces that concern as well of unreliable income. Because there's this temptation to go, if I don't have the supply, I won't be able to get the revenue. True, until you realize that, hold on, it's unreliable, but I can manage it. My capacity to process through that stock, I can also manage that. And from that point on, you're pretty set. You know how to make it through each year, and it's now a boring, reliable business. I haven't dropped the video in a while because I've been doing my best to manage my space and wanting to grow my sales. Weekly vlogs have stopped as well because I've realized that with the engagement, it's not happening. Not because you guys aren't interested, but because I think I'm trying to do too much weekly. I'm trying to talk reselling, talk live, talk other topics, when in reality, it really could just be done once a month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it back up again. The vlogs will just be monthly about me, personal branding stuff, me, family, life, goals, things like that, things I enjoy, I've still got the Malaysia clip to put up, which I will. That was a trigger happy trip. I think I had just over 1,200 videos taken in the 2 weeks I was in Malaysia, and so editing that is gonna be interesting. Let's put it that way. But lots and lots of content there. That way, the weekly stuff I can start putting up more. I'll take the topical things out, like this, where we can just have a casual chat on a topic specific to a title. For those of you guys who want questions answered, so to speak, rather than want to be told a story about me. And for those of you who actually want the story about me and who are here because you relate to my journey, that monthly vlog's for you guys. And really, if you want to get to know me better, just join the Discord community. We've got 211 members now, which is insane to me. The fact that for something that we don't market aggressively, something that, you know, we don't have anybody else really shipping it. It's really just me talking about it every now and then, and the members occasionally talking about it to each other. 211 members in 6 months, to me, blows my mind. And whenever people come in, there's a depth and quality of relationship that I wanted, but I mean, deep down, you don't know if it's going to happen. The fact that it's happened is super encouraging, and everybody in the Discord loves being there, feels supported, feels lifted up. That's all we want. So join the Discord. Why haven't you? I'll see you in there. Thanks for listening to this chat, I guess. I look forward to the next one. Bye.
For more tips and tricks, subscribe to up your online selling game.